Hi guys, Kaze here. Welcome back. We're back with some more Hakuouki. Hakuouki. Kyoto wins. So it's been a while. It's been busy. And for the way I record this, I record like the entire chapters all in one sitting, so it takes about an hour, as it used to. We're gonna see how this goes. So, alright, anyway, considering the vote on the prologue, or at least what everyone wants to see first, would be Yamazaki Susumo. I think I said that right. So what I'm going to try. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I will try. My heart is my best. We're going to try and get his route going, which will mean I'm going to avoid all the other guys as much as possible to get him. Try. So at least with the fact I played with Hijikata before, I know we're going to probably have to tail his end for a little bit until we get to his. So we're gonna try it. We'll see how we can stay with that and see if we can get Yamazaki's route ending. Alright, so let's get started with chapter 1. Was it morning? What happened to me? I attempted to recollect myself. Yes. Right. All at once, the events of the previous night rushed back to me. This isn't my room. My limbs were snugly bound in tight knots, so all I could do was wiggle around in bed, twisting the blankets around me. I yearned for the comfort of my own futon, but the futility of such thoughts only forced me to confront the reality of my situation. If only I could wake from this strange nightmare. But I could not. Those men from the night before must have taken me with them to the headquarters of the Shinsengumi, a military unit made up of Ronin, the purpose of which was to restore public order in Kyoto and counteract the local anti-shogunate forces. How do I... Okay, there we go. What will happen to me now? I inhaled deeply, lying down to await my fate. It was at that moment that the door slid open and a kind-looking man stepped through. Ah, I see you've finally awoken. This is no way to treat a guest of ours. Please wait, I'll loosen the ropes, alright? His smile quirked as he removed my ropes. My wrists, however, were left bound. And you are? Ah, so ka. Watashi wa ne, Inoue Genzaburo to yunda. Of course, how improper of me. My name is Genzaburo. Anyway. Captain of the Shinsengumi 6th Division, a native of Edo, he studied swordplay with Kondo, Hijikata, and Okita. He is sometimes referred to as Gen by his close friends. Easier to say. Yeah, thank you. Anyway. Now, if you would follow me. They've been discussing what to do with you since morning. For now, they've decided to hear about what exactly it is you saw last night. Okay. I nodded curtly and struggled to stand, but my body was sore from being bound up all night. Inoue treated me with something like courtesy, but it was clear that I was in a lesser position. He must have been able to guess my thoughts, however, because he smiled at me and winked. I know they seem scary, but they are all truly gentlemen. You don't need to worry. Oh. Even at home, I heard rumors of the vicious Shinsengumi that were unflattering. It was hard to imagine that the people in charge of such an organization were gentle. The youngest man, Toto, is about your age, or perhaps slightly older. And there are a pair of guys named Nakakura and Harada who are very lively, so you'll be fine. Despite Inoue's reassurance, it was difficult for me to trust what I was hearing as accurate. Excuse me. Inoue led me into a room and opened the door. I stepped inside and found myself surrounded by the leaders of the Shinsengumi. Their eyes dug into me like sharp knives. I stared before me and then gulped nervously. Good morning. I take it you slept well. Well, it wasn't particularly comfortable. Is that so? Because when I went to have a look at you earlier, you didn't budge no matter what I poked. You were knocked out cold, and you looked snug and cozy in your sleep. What? He's only teasing you. Soji didn't go anywhere near your room. Quite silent, I stared at Okita. Captain Shinsengumu's 1st Division. He is a native of Edo, and his brilliant prowess as a swordsman developed by training with Kondo and Hijikata. His grin still spread over his face, he glanced over to Saito. Captain the 3rd Division, the Shinsengumi. He's a native of Edo, and he wields a sword in his left hand and fights with incredible skill. I just wanted to see you squirm a little. Not very nice of you, Hajime, calling me out like that. I don't think Saito did anything wrong. You, on the other hand... Shut it. You sound like a bunch of kids. Hijikata's voice broke to no further insubordination. Okita shrugged and fell silent, but the smile lingered through his bright eyes. Commander of the Shinsengumi, he is Kondo's longtime friend who helped form the Shinsengumi in Kyoto. Kondo calls him Toshi. Just kidding. So, Hijikata is your witness? Well, hello. Guys, the man who spoke was, well, he looked more like a boy than a man. Right? It's like they look like they don't really like me, but I'm okay with that. I mean, at this moment, I'm okay with it. Maybe this is the youthful Shinsengumi captain that Inoue was describing to me. I had imagined the Shinsengumi to be older, maybe even middle-aged men, but their faces were still blessed with youth. In fact, one might even confuse them at first glance with a gang of bohemian thugs. He's a real stick, huh? Just a kid. You're calling him a kid, Heisuke? That's rich. There you are. To anyone else, I bet you two look like a sad pair of scrawny little brats. I'm the only one who gets to call him out on being scrawny punks because I'm a mature adult and all. I don't sound it. Mature adult. Anything that comes out of your mouth is basically nonsense, Senpachi. Two nearby men replied to Todo with very mocking but lighthearted tones. Keisuke Todo, captain of Shinsengumi 8th Division. He's a native of Edo. He is the youngest captain and is known for being particularly energetic. Fair enough. I somewhat recalled Inoue's description of the two energetic members. His mention of them was brief, but seeing them in person was an eye-opening experience. I mean, come on, they don't look that energetic at the moment. He said the short-haired one was Nagakura, and the other with longer hair was Harada. Okay. Senpachi Nagakura, the captain of Shinsengumi 2nd Division, a native of Edo and a skilled swordsman. He is upbeat and cheerful, and he frequently helps raise the morale of the men in his command. And Sanosuke Harada, captain of the Shinsengumi 10th Division. He's a native of Edo, and he is very skilled with the spear, which is his weapon of choice. There's a scar on his stomach from an attempted suicide. Leave off, you grumpy old bastards. Like how I will, boy. You think you can get away with talking to us like that? Besides, I'm hardly mature enough to be called old. Senpachi maybe, but not me. You son of a bitch, I thought we were friends. Come on, Shin. When an adult get worked up over something like that? We're back and forth Raptor seemed developed into a rhythm from years of friendship, which predated my arrival and made me foreign here. I sensed something apart from the curiosity towards me, though, like a feeling of animosity. Despite their cheerful levity, they had not forgiven my presence among them. Suddenly, I want very much to go home. I wanted to leave this place and never return. My chest tightened and I stared down, hoping to wake up in bed with all this only a memory. I apologize for all this frightening behavior. Please, don't let the men unsettle you. Oh. His voice was calm and warm, and I felt myself relax, even if only a little bit. Are you serious? You're the scariest out of all of us, Sanam. Keisuke Sanam, a colonel in the Shinsengumi. He is a native of Edo. He acts primarily as consultant to the chief of the Shinsengumi, Isami Kondo. As he finished speaking, the rest of the men nodded solemnly in agreement. I wonder who could possibly command such fear and respect from these men. Oh, how crude. I can understand their feelings, but for our demon of a commander to feel such as well. It is up to me to hold the integrity of the Shinsengumi to our highest standard. It is easy to be confused, however, when our standards, or rather, our taboos, are at the mercy of our own Hijikata. It is true, but now isn't the time to be talking about this. And the men called Sana and Hijikata stared at one another with a smirk. You're lucky to have a friend like Sana and Toshi. Hijikata and Sana distant when they spoke to one another, not exactly friendly. But still, the man who spoke had certainly sounded as though he thought they were friends. Oh, my apologies. I haven't introduced myself. I am Isami Kondo, chief of the Shinsengumi. one of the founders of Shinsengumi, an organization created to help keep the peace in Kyoto. He is originally from Edo, like everyone else here, apparently. When you say chief, do you mean to say you're the most important man in the Shinsengumi? Well, I wouldn't call myself the most important. It is more accurate to say that I represent everyone. Toshi over there is the commander, and Saman is our colonel. Kondo, why are you telling him all this? Why? Do you think it's a bad idea? Well, unless you think this kid should learn our secrets, maybe we should keep your mouth shut. Exactly. Why bother anyway? We owe him nothing. Perhaps. You all raise good points, but is it rude to ignore your guests? Harada glances over at Kondo and lets out a bark of laughter. True, we've already brought him here. It's not like Dylan will hurt us. Especially if you don't let me please. I can't hurt anybody. Kondo had looked rather disappointed when Hijikata spoke, but he perked up at Harada's words. Despite knowing him for 5 minutes, it's easy to see his words resonated well with his men. He had a sort of charisma that simply drew you in, a man who was impossible to hate. Well, let's get back to the business at hand. Can you give me a full report of last night? Last night. Okay. Last night we were on patrol when we encountered some wandering ronin. They drew steel, so we fought. Some of our men subdued the ronin, but in doing so exposed their failure. As he finished, Saito turned to look at me. I did see anything. Even with my insistence, Hijikata continued to stare at me with harsh glance. Saito remained expressionless, and the smile on Okita's face didn't change. Huh? You sure you didn't see anything? Yes, I didn't see anything. Really? Well, that's true, but I don't see what the problem is. Hold on a minute, I thought Soji said you helped out some of our men or something. No, that's not true. I glanced over to Kita, but his smile remained. Whatever he was thinking was a mystery to me. I was running away from the ronin. Then some people with Shinsengumi uniforms appeared. Really, they sort of rescued me. Then that means you saw them slicing up those ronin, right? I couldn't exactly deny that. However, I knew that choosing to stay silent would implicate me deeper than lying would. So, in other words, you actually saw everything. The whole ugly business. You've got an honest heart. That's not really a bad thing, but I wasn't sure what to make of Harada's words. My presence seemed bad for the Shinsengumi. Would their next words be ones condemning me to death for being at the wrong place and time? My voice shook, but I knew I had to try. I won't tell anyone, I promise. It seems unlikely this attack was mere chance, yet it seems unlikely too that you're an enemy. Despite your good intentions, you could be taken for interrogating. Could you handle the torture? His voice was still warm, but his words were cold, and I began to feel my chances at life slip away. Staying quiet is easy, but if you were captured, you would have no loyalty to us or our secrets. Yeah, we have no way of verifying your word, and it wouldn't be very smart to just let you go. Let's just kill the kid. You want to keep someone quiet, that's the only sure way. But... Don't be so cold, Soji. What do we gain by murdering a civilian? No, don't give me that look. I was just kidding. Perhaps it should have sounded like it. After being rebuffed by Saito, Okita gave a playful smile. But surely there must be something we can do. After all, we're talking about a child. I have no wish to kill him either, but ignoring the unlikelihood of his trustworthiness is foolish. Well, I would like to hear the commander's opinion. What do you say, Commander Hijikata? The men looked at Hijikata, listening intently. He sighed and glanced around the room. Last night, we killed members who broke our code. This kid should not have been involved at all. I imagine that puts an end to the matter for you. Well, he probably saw something, but I doubt he really understands what it was. Even so, this is serious. We have bigger things to consider. We have to keep this under wraps. If rumors break, the soldiers of the Shinsengumi are thirsty for blood, it would be problematic. Senpachi's words made sense to everyone. Hijikata's face looked grim. Hey, watch your mouth. It is our responsibility to relegate all warriors who violate our code. They will be dealt with. Well, it doesn't change the fact that this kid saw something. I think Soji has a point, but still, I'll do whatever Hijikata and Kondo tell me to do. I think we have to let him go. He doesn't know everything, you know? What do you mean, everything? I couldn't help but wonder out loud, and the mood in the room shifted to an icy silence. Yeah, that's a great question. Shut it, Esuke. Oops, my bad. Uh-oh. This is gonna make it even harder for us to simply let you go.
I
mean, you should always be ready to face death. You should make your peace with yours. A man? Oh, that's right, they still believe me to be a boy. With everything else that had happened, I had completely forgotten how I was dressed. Very true. A brave death is always an option. When I was young, I committed honorable suicide. Didn't work very well for you, did it? It didn't really stick though, did it, Sano? Her jokes were barbaric, but they both broke into raucous laughter. Commander, since we can't seem to reach a consensus, shall I send the child back to his room? If you hear something you shouldn't while you're here, then we'll have no choice but to kill you. He was right. If I remained with them, then I could easily hear something I wasn't supposed to. I didn't think he'd mention it for my sake, but rather as a possible concern for the group. I was still relieved when he brought it up. Indeed. Let's do that. Plus, there's something I want to look into. I agree. There are too many careless men here. Come on, Sanan. What are you looking at me for? That ought to be pretty obvious. We're all guilty of being careless, especially you, Hesuke. Hey! Back off! It was just a mistake, alright? I could hear Toto's voice rise as everyone turned to look at him. He looked at them for a bit and turned to me and mumbled in a voice I could barely hear. I'm sorry. I was still apprehensive about what they might do to me, so I couldn't quite respond to him well. But he seemed to understand, and I curtly managed to nod. It was the most I could manage. Alright, Saito. Take care of the kid. Noted. Shall we go? Alright. Warrior record has been unlocked. I don't know what the heck that is, but okay. Well, I think that is as good a place as any for us to end this part of the video. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, what you think will happen to us. And can they keep their mouth shut, right? Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, bye! Kazuya out.